You're listening to the Drummer Daily Podcast, the only daily podcast dedicated just to drummers. Go to my website at danielhadaway.com. Hey there, how's it going? Welcome back. I am sorry, I think I missed a day somewhere in this daily podcast thing, but hopefully you'll forgive me. It's been pretty crazy. Travel and rehearsal, and I just got back. My son and I got haircuts together, little his and his haircuts. I was getting a haircut because I leave for tour tomorrow with All Sons and Daughters, and I like to get my haircut before I go on tour, because then I know that inevitably if I don't get my haircut about 5 or 6 days into it, I'll be like, man, my hair is looking really bad, really shabby, and wishing that I could get a haircut. So I just went ahead and took care of it ahead of time, and I love doing that. So anyway, we did that, but I wanted to talk to you today. I don't really have like a message about today. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to walk you through what rehearsal has been like, or what rehearsal was like for this Poets and Saints tour that I'm doing with All Sons and Daughters, just to kind of give you an idea of the amount of effort and time that goes into it, and kind of like what it looks like. So I won't bore you with a bunch of stuff that's I'm not going to try to convince you that it's hard or easy or anything like that. I just want to kind of tell you what it's like. And so I guess I'll say the first part of this is that we've had the record. The record's been done. It came out a few weeks ago, but the record's been done for probably maybe 3 months. It's been done, maybe longer than that. And so I've had it and been listening to it. And what's funny is with this recording, you record stuff. I think I might have tracked what I tracked early this year. So about 8 months ago, and then it gets done. And so, but the thing is, you get most of your tracking done on projects like this in a day or two. And so you kind of forget what the songs, how they all go. And then of course, editing and things happen. You never know what they're going to end up being like. So anyway, I've been listening to the songs as they were finished and relearning them, for 3 months now. So hopefully I kind of know how they go for the most part. And then we've had a couple of rehearsals in our studio, in the band studio, where we just all plug our ear monitors in, we bring our gear in, and we just, it's not like a big, stadium rehearsal or anything like that. It's a very small rehearsal, and it's for us to figure out the parts we're going to play and how we're going to replicate what we want to replicate from the album, and how the flow of songs is going to go, get a set list together, things like that. So we did all that a couple of times, and those last all day. Those are 10 to 5, 9 to 5. You break for lunch and you work, and it can be really hard and really tiring, and that definitely is exhausting to do that. But it's where you kind of get an idea of what's supposed to be happening. And so then when you show up for production rehearsal, which is what we did this last week, you have that part figured out. So that's what I want to talk about today a lot too, is the production rehearsal. So I got there, we were supposed to get there at noon on Friday, and this was at a church, a large church that let us use their space to kind of set all of our lights and our equipment and everything up, so we could really get a feel for how our video screen, everything, how it's all going to work together, and make sure we didn't have any questions or any technical problems before we left and took all this stuff on the road with us and didn't have anybody to help us with it. So anyway, get there at 12, and about the first 5 hours or so was us just setting up equipment and making sure everything worked, and troubleshooting things and running mics. And for me, it was, I just got my A&F drums, so it was tuning up the kit again now that I'm in a bigger room, to really hear how they sound. Then of course when they got mic'd, listening to how, really freaking out about how they were sounding and losing my mind because they sounded so good. And then a funny aside on that was that I knew that at the end of this production rehearsal, we were putting all our gear on a box truck, and it was going across the country to meet us for our first show. So I knew that I literally had gotten the drums on Thursday, and then had rehearsal on Friday, and then wouldn't get to see the drums again for a week. And so you can imagine, I know how you probably think about when you get new gear, you just want to play it all the time, and look at it and enjoy it. Well, I I couldn't really do that because it had to go away for a week. So everyone was laughing at me. Once I got the drums set up, I was just kind of sitting there behind the drums for the longest time, just kind of looking at them all and just admiring them, knowing they'd be going away. So anyway, so we did our rehearsal. We probably played, through most of the songs for production rehearsal, maybe about 80% of the set that we had worked on. And then we had to pack it all up. And what's funny is you don't think about this a lot, but really the setup and teardown takes practice just like every other part of the music does. So during the production rehearsal, we really ran things how we'd already practiced it and kind of looked to see how things would look. There's a spot where we all need to move, we're all going to do kind of a little acoustic set in the middle of the show. So we all had to make sure that the practicalities of moving around the stage are all going to work and things like that. So anyway, did that. So a large majority of the production rehearsal was us setting up and tearing down and seeing how that all would go. And that went for me too, learning how to fit everything into the cases that I had and protect everything. So I'm taking some electronics on this tour, things like that. So anyway, it was the production rehearsal for us, which can be really exciting because you get to see everything in front of you, everything's set up and ready to go and how it's going to look on tour. A majority of the production rehearsal was actually just setting up and tearing down. But then, so we got everything packed into the box truck, and that's driving off to the West Coast to meet us. And so tomorrow morning, I'll get up bright and early and I'll fly out to Arizona, where our first show is on this tour. And then tomorrow night, we'll actually set everything up again. And we will do a rehearsal at the place where we're playing our first show. So the first show is not tomorrow. The first show is the next day. But we'll set everything up, and we'll actually run through everything again, and we'll probably find some problems and make some adjustments. But I'm so excited because I get to be reunited with my beloved A&F drums. It's funny. I don't want to oversell them, but my goodness, when the first time we all got our ear monitors plugged in and we got to hear the drums all mic'd up, I was like almost in tears at how amazing it sounded. And then David Leonard, one of the other guys in the band, he's a producer too, so he loves drum sounds and loves, he knows what drums are supposed to sound like. And he was just like in awe. I could see his face. Like we just all could not believe how they sounded. Brad, another guy who was with us, who's going on the road with us, he does a lot of stuff and produces and engineers a lot for us at the studio, or for David at the studio. And he was like, man, I cannot wait to track these drums. So anyway, a lot of my time was spent just admiring the drums and getting excited about that. So that's it. I just want to kind of give you an idea of like what it's like getting prepared for one of these bigger tours like this. Everybody does it differently. And one other thing about this is that because we play worship music, we play church music, a lot of what we do is in response to the people that we're in the room with. And we can envision a certain list of songs or a certain order of songs that we think will work for people. And I think we get better at it as the years have gone on, at kind of anticipating how the mood of the room is going to be and how people will respond to certain sections of the set and things like that. But we understand that, we might go one or two shows into this and realize that, this part right here really isn't working, or this song doesn't fit here. People aren't responding. It'd be better if we did this or that, or there's too many old songs, there's too many new songs, who knows, all kinds of things. So we have to be willing to adjust to all that. So that's why we don't go too crazy about getting everything just right as far as the order goes at these rehearsals, is because we know that most likely something's going to change. All right. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. Sorry I missed an episode. I'll try to do better. But hey, I'll tell you what, if you don't like my schedule, I will give you your money back for what you paid for this. That's a joke. Anyway, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. I hope your weekend's been great, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.